the Arabian Peninsula, a land of vast deserts, scorching sun and nomadic tribes. In the 7th century CE, this region stood at a crossroads of history. Ancient trade routes crisscrossed its arid expanse, connecting the mighty empires of Rome and Persia. Caravans laden with spices, silks and precious goods traversed its unforgiving terrain, carrying with them not just merchandise, but also a vibrant exchange of cultures and ideas. Amidst the harsh realities of desert life, a profound spiritual transformation was about to unfold, forever altering the course of human history. The Arabian Peninsula was a melting pot of beliefs and traditions. Paganism held sway in many quarters, with its pantheon of deities and animistic practices. Christianity and Judaism had also found adherents among the scattered communities, their teachings whispering of one God and the promise of salvation. This diverse religious landscape, while seemingly disparate, shared a common thread, a deep-seated yearning for meaning and connection to the divine. Into this world of tribal rivalries, spiritual seeking and burgeoning trade emerged a new faith, Islam. Born in the heart of Arabia, Islam would soon transcend its geographical origins, spreading like wildfire across continents and cultures. It would become a beacon of hope for the downtrodden, a catalyst for intellectual and artistic flourishing, and a force to be reckoned with on the world stage. The story of Islam, however, begins not with conquest or empire, but with a solitary man in the depths of prayer and contemplation. His name was Muhammad, and his message was simple yet profound. There is no God but God, and Muhammad is his messenger. At the heart of the Arabian Peninsula lay Mecca, a bustling oasis city and a vital centre for trade and pilgrimage. Caravans from distant lands converged upon its bustling marketplace, drawn by the allure of profit and the sanctity of its ancient shrine, the Kaaba. This cube-shaped structure, believed to have been built by Abraham and his son Ishmael, stood as a testament to a shared spiritual heritage, drawing pilgrims from far and wide. The Kaaba, draped in its black cloth, represented a focal point for Arab unity, a symbol of their common ancestry and shared beliefs. Yet beneath the veneer of religious observance, Mecca was also a city riddled with social injustice, economic disparity and spiritual unrest. Tribal rivalries simmered, fueled by competition for resources and prestige. The gap between the wealthy elite and the impoverished masses yawned wide, breeding resentment and discontent. Muhammad, born into a respected clan in Mecca, was deeply troubled by the injustices and spiritual bankruptcy he witnessed around him. Orphaned at a young age, he had experienced firsthand the harsh realities of life in a society where wealth and status often trumped compassion and righteousness. His contemplative nature and unwavering integrity earned him the epithet Al-Sadiq, the truthful, a testament to his character and a harbinger of the profound spiritual transformation that lay ahead. As he entered adulthood, Muhammad sought solace in solitude and reflection, often retreating to the seclusion of Mount Hira, a barren peak overlooking Mecca. It was in this desolate and silent landscape, far from the clamour of the city, that he would receive his divine calling, a message destined to change the course of history. The year was 610 CE. Muhammad, now 40 years old, was engaged in his customary spiritual retreat in the solitude of Mount Hira. As he immersed himself in prayer and contemplation, a profound event occurred, forever altering the course of his life and igniting the flames of a world-changing faith. The angel Gabriel, a celestial being, appeared before Muhammad, commanding him to recite. Overwhelmed by the divine presence, Muhammad initially hesitated, unsure of what to utter, but Gabriel persisted, urging him to read in the name of his Lord, the Creator of all that exists. These divine words, etched in the depths of Muhammad's being, marked the beginning of the revelation of the Quran, the holy book of Islam. The Quran, meaning the recitation in Arabic, is considered by Muslims to be the literal word of God, revealed to Muhammad over a period of 23 years. Its verses, imbued with divine wisdom and guidance, address a wide range of subjects, from the nature of God and the purpose of life to social justice, ethical conduct, and the relationship between humanity and the divine. Its message, though revealed in 7th century Arabia, transcends time and place, offering timeless principles for individuals and societies alike. The central message of Islam, as revealed to Muhammad, is one of submission to the will of the one God, Allah. The word Islam itself means submission or surrender, signifying the complete surrender of one's will to the divine will. Central to Islam's teachings is the profound concept of Tawhid, the oneness of God. This fundamental principle asserts that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, the sole creator, sustainer, and master of the universe. Tawhid is not merely an abstract theological doctrine, it is the very foundation upon which the entire edifice of Islamic faith and practice is built. Tawhid permeates every aspect of a Muslim's life, shaping their worldview, values, and actions. It instills a deep sense of humility and dependence upon God, recognizing that all power and glory ultimately belong to Him. This awareness fosters a sense of gratitude for the blessings in one's life, while also providing solace and strength in times of adversity. By acknowledging God's absolute sovereignty, Muslims strive to align their will with His, seeking His guidance in all matters. The Quran emphasizes the all-encompassing nature of God's power and presence, stating that He is with you wherever you are. This profound awareness of God's constant companionship serves as a source of comfort and inspiration for Muslims, reminding them that they are never alone in their struggles and triumphs. Tawhid also serves as a powerful antidote to idolatry and the worship of false gods. It calls upon Muslims to reject all forms of earthly attachment and worldly distractions that may divert them from the worship and remembrance of God. By affirming the oneness of God, Islam provides a clear and unwavering path to spiritual enlightenment and salvation. Section 2. Justice and Compassion, Pillars of a Righteous Society. Islam places great emphasis on justice and compassion, considering them to be essential virtues for both individuals and society as a whole. Justice in the Islamic context encompasses far more than mere legalistic fairness. It entails establishing a social order where the rights of all individuals are upheld, regardless of their background or beliefs. This commitment to justice is rooted in the belief that all human beings are created equal in the eyes of God and are therefore deserving of respect and dignity. Compassion, the heartfelt empathy for the suffering of others, is inextricably linked to justice in the Islamic worldview. The Quran repeatedly exhorts Muslims to be merciful and compassionate towards their fellow human beings, especially the vulnerable and marginalized. This emphasis on compassion is reflected in the Islamic concept of zakat, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which mandates that Muslims contribute a portion of their wealth to support the poor and needy. The Prophet Muhammad himself exemplified the virtues of justice and compassion throughout his life. He was known for his fairness in dealing with people, even those who opposed him, and for his unwavering concern for the well-being of all members of society. His teachings and example continue to inspire Muslims today to strive for a more just and compassionate world. The Quran states, God commands justice, the doing of good, and generosity to kith and kin. This verse encapsulates the Islamic ideal of a just and compassionate society, where the pursuit of righteousness and the well-being of all are paramount. By upholding these values, Muslims strive to create a world where peace, harmony, and mutual respect prevail. Section 3. Honesty and integrity, the cornerstones of character. Honesty and integrity are considered to be foundational virtues in Islam, forming the bedrock of a strong moral character. Muslims are enjoined to be truthful in their words and actions, both in their personal and public lives. This commitment to honesty stems from the belief that God is aware of all things, including the innermost thoughts and intentions of the human heart. The Quran emphasizes the importance of fulfilling one's promises and commitments, stating that fulfill your covenant, for indeed every covenant will be questioned about. This verse highlights the seriousness with which Islam regards honesty and trustworthiness in all aspects of life. Muslims are taught that their word should be their bond, and that betraying a trust, no matter how small, is a grave transgression. Integrity, in the Islamic context, goes beyond mere honesty to encompass a steadfast adherence to moral principles, even when faced with challenges or temptations. It involves being true to oneself, to one's values, and to one's relationship with God. The Prophet Muhammad was renowned for his impeccable character and unwavering integrity. He was known as Al-Sadiq, the truthful, and Al-Amin, the trustworthy, even before his prophethood. His life serves as a shining example of how honesty and integrity can elevate individuals and societies alike. Section 4. The interweaving of values, a tapestry of virtue. The core values of Islam, Tawhid, justice, compassion, honesty and integrity, are not isolated principles, but rather interconnected threads woven together to form a rich tapestry of virtue. These values reinforce and complement each other, creating a holistic framework for ethical conduct and spiritual growth. Tawhid, the belief in the oneness of God, forms the very foundation of this tapestry. It is the recognition that all human beings are created by and accountable to the same God, fostering a sense of unity and shared humanity. This awareness naturally leads to a commitment to justice and compassion, as individuals strive to treat others with the same respect and dignity they would expect from their Creator. Honesty and integrity serve as the mortar that holds this tapestry together. They ensure that all actions, whether public or private, are guided by a commitment to truthfulness and righteousness. When individuals are grounded in these values, they are more likely to uphold justice, act with compassion, and fulfill their obligations to God and society. The Prophet Muhammad emphasized the importance of embodying these values in a famous hadith, stating, "The best of you are those who are best in character." This statement underscores the Islamic belief that true piety is not merely about outward rituals, but about cultivating a noble and virtuous character that reflects the divine attributes. At the heart of Islamic practice lie the 5 pillars of Islam, a set of fundamental acts of worship that form the bedrock of a Muslim's faith. These pillars, ordained by God and exemplified by the Prophet Muhammad, provide a framework for spiritual growth, communal bonding and submission to the divine will. They are not merely rituals to be performed mechanically, but rather transformative practices designed to cultivate a deeper connection with God and foster a more just and compassionate world. The 5 pillars encompass both individual and collective obligations, reflecting the holistic nature of Islam and its emphasis on the interconnectedness of faith and action. They serve as a constant reminder of a Muslim's commitment to God, to their own spiritual development, and to the well-being of the community and humanity at large. Through the consistent and sincere observance of these pillars, Muslims strive to embody the essence of their faith and live a life pleasing to God. The first pillar, Shahada, is the declaration of faith, the very cornerstone of Islam, Salah, the second pillar, is the ritual prayer performed 5 times daily, a constant reminder of God's presence and a source of spiritual nourishment. Zakat, the third pillar, is the practice of almsgiving, a tangible manifestation of compassion and a means of alleviating poverty and social inequality. Sawm, the fourth pillar, is the observance of fasting during the month of Ramadan, a time for spiritual reflection, self-discipline and empathy for the less fortunate. Finally, Hajj, the fifth pillar, is the pilgrimage to Mecca, a once-in-a-lifetime obligation for those who are physically and financially able. This extraordinary journey brings together Muslims from every corner of the globe, symbolizing the unity and universality of the Islamic faith. The 5 pillars, observed individually and collectively, form the very essence of Islamic practice, guiding Muslims towards a life of meaning, purpose and submission to the divine will. The journey of faith in Islam begins with the Shahada, the declaration of belief, a simple yet profound statement that encapsulates the very essence of Islamic monotheism. It is the first pillar of Islam and the foundation upon which all other beliefs and practices rest. The Shahada, uttered with sincerity and conviction, marks one's entry into the fold of Islam, a lifelong commitment to submit to the will of the one God. The Shahada consists of 2 parts: La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammadur Rasulullah, Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. The first part, La ilaha illallah, is a resounding affirmation of God's absolute oneness, rejecting all forms of idolatry and polytheism. It is a declaration that there is no other power or deity worthy of worship except Allah, the creator and sustainer of all that exists. The second part, Muhammadur Rasulullah, affirms the prophethood of Muhammad, recognizing him as the final and seal of the prophets sent by God to guide humanity. It is an acknowledgement that Muhammad was a human being chosen by God to deliver his message to mankind, and that his teachings, as enshrined in the Quran and his exemplary life, provide the blueprint for a life of submission and devotion to God. The Shahada is not merely a statement of belief, it is a transformative declaration that shapes every aspect of a Muslim's life. It is a constant reminder of God's presence and sovereignty, guiding their thoughts, actions and interactions with the world around them. It is a declaration that permeates their hearts and minds, shaping their worldview, values and aspirations. Five times a day, from the break of dawn to the stillness of night, Muslims around the world turn their faces towards Mecca, their hearts attuned to the call of prayer. This rhythmic cycle of bowing and prostrating, known as Salah, is the second pillar of Islam, a physical, mental and spiritual act of worship that brings solace, focus and a renewed connection with the divine. Salah is far more than a perfunctory ritual. It is a deeply personal conversation with God, a space for gratitude, supplication and reflection. It is a moment to set aside the distractions of daily life and stand before the Creator in humility and awe. The act of prostration, with one's forehead touching the ground, symbolizes complete surrender and submission to the will of God. The 5 daily prayers are not identical. Each has its own designated time and specific number of units, rakas, creating a rhythm to the day and offering multiple opportunities to connect with God. Fajr, the dawn prayer, marks the beginning of the day with a sense of gratitude and purpose. Dur, the midday prayer, offers a respite from the day's activities, a moment to recenter and refocus. Asr, the late afternoon prayer, serves as a bridge between the day's labours and the tranquility of the evening. Maghrib, the sunset prayer, is a time for reflection and gratitude as the day draws to a close. Finally, Aisha, the night prayer, provides an opportunity to unwind, seek forgiveness, and prepare for a restful night's sleep. The rhythmic cycle of Salah throughout the day serves as a constant reminder of God's presence, a source of strength and guidance, and a means of fostering inner peace and spiritual well-being. In the tapestry of Islamic values, zakat, the third pillar of Islam, stands as a testament to the faith's profound emphasis on social justice, compassion, and the equitable distribution of wealth. It is the practice of almsgiving, a mandatory act of worship that purifies one's wealth by sharing a portion of it with those in need. Zakat is not merely charity, it is a right owed to the less fortunate, a means of fostering social solidarity and ensuring that the needs of all members of society are met. Islam recognizes that wealth can be both a blessing and a test. While it provides comfort and security, it can also lead to greed, selfishness, and indifference towards the plight of others. Zakat serves as a powerful antidote to these negative tendencies, reminding Muslims that their wealth is not theirs alone, but a trust from God to be used responsibly and compassionately. The Quran emphasizes the importance of zakat, stating, "And establish prayer and give zakat." This verse highlights the integral link between prayer, a deeply personal act of worship, and zakat, an outward manifestation of faith through social responsibility. Zakat is calculated as a percentage of one's accumulated wealth, typically 2.5%, and is payable on assets held for over a year, such as gold, silver, cash, and business inventory. The recipients of zakat are clearly defined in Islamic law, including the poor, the needy, those burdened by debt, travelers in need, and those working to free captives or spread knowledge. Zakat is not simply about alleviating immediate suffering. It is about empowering individuals, breaking the cycle of poverty, and creating a more just and equitable society. By fulfilling the obligation of zakat, Muslims purify their wealth, demonstrate their gratitude to God, and contribute to the well-being of their communities and humanity at large. The teachings of Prophet Muhammad form the very heart of Islam, illuminating the path towards spiritual enlightenment, ethical conduct, and a just and compassionate society. His words and actions, meticulously recorded and preserved by his companions, continue to resonate across centuries, offering timeless wisdom and guidance for navigating the complexities of life. These teachings, collectively known as the Sunnah, encompass a vast range of subjects, from the most profound theological concepts to the seemingly mundane aspects of daily life. At the core of the Prophet's message lies the unwavering belief in the oneness of God, the very essence of Tawhid. He tirelessly emphasized the importance of submitting to God's will, seeking His guidance in all matters, and living a life of purpose and meaning. His teachings instilled in his followers a deep sense of accountability, reminding them that they would be answerable for their actions in this life and the hereafter. This awareness fostered a heightened sense of responsibility, both towards God and towards their fellow human beings. The Prophet's teachings extended far beyond matters of personal piety and ritual observance. He was deeply concerned with establishing a just and equitable society, where the rights of all individuals were upheld, regardless of their social status, ethnicity, or religious beliefs. He condemned oppression in all its forms, advocating for the poor and marginalized, and championing the cause of the oppressed. His teachings laid the foundation for a social order rooted in compassion, fairness, and mutual respect. The Prophet Muhammad was not merely a preacher of lofty ideals, he was a living embodiment of his teachings. His companions testified to his impeccable character, his humility, generosity, and unwavering commitment to justice. He treated everyone with respect and dignity, regardless of their social standing, always willing to lend a helping hand, share a kind word, or offer a gentle smile. It was this exemplary life, as much as his profound teachings, that inspired millions to embrace Islam and dedicate themselves to living by its principles. Compassion, a cornerstone of Islamic ethics, found its most eloquent expression in the life and teachings of Prophet Muhammad. He embodied mercy in its purest form, extending it not only to his family and companions, but to all of creation. His compassion transcended social barriers, embracing even those who opposed him, demonstrating the transformative power of forgiveness and understanding. The Prophet's teachings emphasized the interconnectedness of all beings, urging his followers to treat others as they would wish to be treated. He reminded them that true piety lay not merely in ritual observance, but in cultivating a compassionate heart that extended to all of God's creation. He said, "The most merciful of you to mankind will be the most merciful of you from your Lord." This profound statement highlights the link between divine mercy and human compassion, suggesting that those who show mercy to others will themselves be recipients of God's infinite mercy. The Prophet's life was replete with examples of compassion in action. He was known to go out of his way to help those in need, whether it was a poor widow struggling to make ends meet, a sick child in need of comfort, or a stranger seeking shelter. His compassion extended even to animals, demonstrating the Islamic principle of treating all living creatures with respect and kindness. One particularly poignant story illustrates the Prophet's boundless capacity for forgiveness and compassion. After years of persecution in Mecca, he finally entered the city victorious, having the power to exact revenge on those who had wronged him and his followers. Yet, instead of retribution, he offered a general amnesty, proclaiming, "Go, you are all free." This act of extraordinary compassion, even towards his former enemies, stands as a testament to the transformative power of mercy and a beacon of hope for a world often consumed by conflict and vengeance. Section 3. Seeking Knowledge, a Lifelong Pursuit. The pursuit of knowledge holds a place of paramount importance in Islam, and Prophet Muhammad emphasized its significance throughout his teachings. He instilled in his followers a deep reverence for learning, considering it a lifelong endeavor essential for both spiritual growth and societal progress. He famously said, "Seeking knowledge is obligatory upon every Muslim," highlighting the universal nature of this obligation, transcending gender, social status, and age. The Prophet's emphasis on knowledge stemmed from the belief that it is through understanding that one comes to appreciate the wonders of creation and the wisdom of the Creator. He recognized that knowledge is the key to unlocking human potential, enabling individuals to make informed decisions, contribute to society, and navigate the complexities of life. He encouraged his followers to seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave, emphasizing that the pursuit of learning should be a lifelong endeavor. The Quran itself is a testament to the Islamic reverence for knowledge, containing numerous verses that extol its virtues and encourage its pursuit. It describes those who possess knowledge as being exalted in degrees and granted wisdom. The Prophet himself was an avid seeker of knowledge, constantly questioning, observing, and reflecting on the world around him. He encouraged his followers to engage in dialogue, debate, and critical thinking, fostering an environment of intellectual curiosity and exploration. The Prophet's legacy in promoting knowledge is evident in the remarkable contributions made by Muslims throughout history, in fields as diverse as mathematics, astronomy, medicine, philosophy, and art. From the founding of the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, a renowned center of learning during the Islamic Golden Age, to the development of algebra and the invention of groundbreaking surgical instruments, Muslims have played a pivotal role in advancing human knowledge and shaping the course of civilization. Centuries after his passing, the legacy of Prophet Muhammad continues to inspire and influence the lives of billions across the globe. His message of monotheism, compassion and social justice has resonated across cultures and continents, shaping the moral and spiritual landscape of human civilization. His teachings, enshrined in the Quran and the Sunnah, continue to provide guidance and solace to Muslims and non-Muslims alike, offering timeless principles for ethical conduct, social harmony and spiritual enlightenment. The Prophet's emphasis on the oneness of God, the very heart of Tawhid, has had a profound impact on religious thought, challenging established notions of divinity and paving the way for a more unified understanding of the divine. His teachings on compassion, justice, and the inherent dignity of all human beings have inspired countless social reform movements, challenging oppression and advocating for the rights of the marginalized. The Prophet's legacy extends beyond the realm of religion, influencing art, architecture, literature and philosophy across the world. From the majestic mosques that grace skylines from Cordoba to Istanbul, to the intricate calligraphy that adorns sacred texts, Islamic art and architecture reflect the beauty and transcendence of the faith he preached. Islamic philosophers and scholars, drawing inspiration from his teachings, have made significant contributions to fields as diverse as mathematics, astronomy, medicine and law. Perhaps the most enduring aspect of the Prophet's legacy is the example of his own life, a testament to the transformative power of faith and the importance of living in accordance with one's beliefs. His humility, compassion, generosity, and unwavering commitment to justice serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration for humanity, reminding us that even in a world often marred by conflict and division, it is possible to live a life guided by principles of peace, love, and understanding. From its humble beginnings in the Arabian Peninsula, Islam embarked on an extraordinary journey of expansion, spreading rapidly across continents and cultures. Within a century of Prophet Muhammad's death, the Islamic Empire stretched from Spain in the west to the Indus River in the east, encompassing a vast tapestry of peoples, languages and traditions. This remarkable expansion was not solely the result of military conquest, but rather a complex interplay of factors, including trade, migration, intellectual curiosity, and the universal appeal of Islam's message. Trade played a pivotal role in the spread of Islam, particularly along the ancient Silk Road which connected the East and West. Muslim merchants, renowned for their honesty, fairness and high-quality goods, travelled far and wide, carrying with them not just merchandise but also their faith and values. As they interacted with local populations, they shared their beliefs and practices, often establishing mosques and Islamic centres along their trade routes. The early Muslim community's emphasis on education and scholarship also contributed to the spread of Islam. Centres of learning, such as the renowned House of Wisdom in Baghdad, attracted scholars and students from diverse backgrounds, eager to engage with the latest scientific, philosophical and theological ideas. The translation of Greek, Persian and Indian texts into Arabic preserved ancient knowledge and facilitated intellectual exchange, further enhancing the reputation of Islamic civilization. Islam's message of equality and justice also resonated with many people living under oppressive regimes. In regions like Persia and North Africa, where rigid social hierarchies and discriminatory practices were prevalent, Islam's emphasis on the inherent dignity of all human beings, regardless of their social status or ethnicity, proved to be a powerful draw. People were drawn to the faith's message of social justice, which promised equality before God and a more equitable distribution of wealth. As Islam spread, it interacted with diverse cultures, absorbing local customs and traditions while also leaving an indelible mark on the societies it encountered. This dynamic process of cultural exchange resulted in the emergence of distinct Islamic traditions in different parts of the world, each reflecting local aesthetics, languages and social norms, while remaining firmly rooted in the core tenets of the faith. In the Indian subcontinent, Islam blended with existing Hindu and Buddhist traditions, giving rise to unique architectural styles such as Mughal architecture, characterized by its intricate geometric patterns, soaring domes, and graceful minarets. The Sufi tradition, with its emphasis on mystical experiences and personal connection with the divine, also flourished in South Asia, attracting followers from all walks of life. In Africa, Islam spread through trade and peaceful conversion, becoming deeply intertwined with the continent's rich cultural heritage. From the bustling trading centers of Timbuktu and Yen to the Swahili coast, Islam influenced art, architecture, music and language, shaping the identity of many African societies. The Great Mosque of Jannah, built entirely of mud brick, stands as a testament to the ingenuity and architectural prowess of West African Islamic civilizations. In Europe, particularly in Spain and Sicily, Islamic rule ushered in a period of intellectual and cultural flourishing known as the Islamic Golden Age. Muslim scholars made significant contributions to mathematics, astronomy, medicine and philosophy, preserving ancient Greek and Roman texts and laying the groundwork for the European Renaissance. The legacy of this era is evident in the architectural marvels of the Alhambra Palace in Granada and the Great Mosque of Cordoba, as well as in the countless Arabic loanwords that enrich European languages. As we have journeyed through the historical rise of Islam, delved into its core values, and witnessed its global impact, one resounding truth emerges. The essence of Islam lies in its call to submission to the one God and its unwavering commitment to justice, compassion, and peace. This message, first proclaimed by Prophet Muhammad in the Arabian desert centuries ago, continues to resonate across cultures and continents, offering a timeless blueprint for individual fulfillment and collective well-being. Islam's emphasis on Tawhid, the oneness of God, transcends cultural and geographical boundaries, providing a unifying principle for all of humanity. It reminds us that we are all interconnected, sharing a common creator and a common destiny. This awareness fosters humility, gratitude, and a sense of responsibility towards one another, urging us to build bridges of understanding and strive for a more just and equitable world. The 5 pillars of Islam, with their emphasis on prayer, fasting, charity, and pilgrimage, serve as practical guidelines for living a life aligned with divine will. They cultivate spiritual discipline, foster empathy for the less fortunate, and remind us of our interconnectedness as a global community. Through the consistent and sincere observance of these pillars, Muslims strive to embody the essence of their faith, not just in words, but in actions. In a world often fragmented by conflict, division, and the pursuit of material wealth, the message of Islam offers a path towards inner peace, social harmony, and a deeper connection with the divine. It is a call to return to the fundamental values of compassion, justice, and respect for all of God's creation. It is an invitation to embrace the transformative power of faith, not as a source of division or discord, but as a catalyst for positive change, both within ourselves and in the world around us. For more information, visit your local mosque or Islamic center.